It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. It is Monday. We have made it Monday, January 27th. How is everyone doing today? It was a long weekend without my dosers. I'm not going to lie. I felt very sad. I was missing you tremendously. You know, life is not the same without you in my life. How am I supposed to live without you? You guys, I was sad. And my husband said, like, I'm still here. And I said, but you're not the dosers. And so there is a void in my life when I am not speaking to all of you. So I feel at home. I am here. I have you guys, and we have so much to cover today. Hugh Jackman has come in just like a movie plot. He has come in to jump on to save Deadpool. Wolverine has tried. He has tried. Has he succeeded? I don't know. Is Deadpool going to bring Wolverine down? Or is Wolverine going to save Deadpool? We'll have to see. There's also some crazy new info that my friend Dave Neal has brought to light, actually a TikTok creator, about the New York Times that I found was so interesting. Actually, I'm going to be on Dave Neal's show later today, so I'm going to bring that up to you guys. There's a few little updates in the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case, but we're not going to spend all day on it. For all of you guys that are not interested in it, don't you worry. Stick around. We're going to move on to some Bravo updates. I'm going to chat just a few minutes about traders, and of course, for all my OGs, we got to hit up Coyote Pass, because there's not a day that we don't talk about Coyote Pass. Plus Taylor Swift. I don't know, you guys. When I saw her on the field last night after that Chiefs win, I was just like, God, really? We're still here? This is still happening? I don't know if Blake Lively just ruined Taylor Swift for me, but I don't know. We're not done. We're still here. Everyone, welcome. It's your daily dose of Donna. A little shout out to the Sister Wives fans in the audience. You know what's a really big deal? A really big deal. I keep going like this because I just used an oil. Remember Oak Essentials? They were a sponsor of my show. You can still go to Oak Essentials and use code Daily Dose. I bet it will still work. It's really a wonderful oil, but that's why I'm so shiny. So I just put it on, and so it's still like very much in my hands. But I was on I was looking at my Apple podcast reviews. You guys showed the F up. If you have not yet gone to Apple Podcasts and left me a 5-star rating and a review, like, what are you waiting for? Can I just tell you, I was blown away. There's still some nasty ones because that's just the way life works. People love to be mean. But those of you that left nice ones, like, I was really touched. And I have to say, there's so many new people here that, like, it was really, really cool. It was really cool. I was really blown away. I mean, like, for example, Donna is wonderful, spot on most of the time, which is the way you're supposed to be. No one's supposed to be spot on all the time. That's like not normal, right? Has the most beautiful. Okay, Jessica has the most beautiful self-introspection to know when she may have gotten something incorrect, and will definitely call herself out, which is so rare these days. That is true. I definitely say when I'm wrong, and I am so wrong. Like 50% of the time I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong right now. Okay, she has an incredible amount of social and emotional intelligence. Just an overall lovely, positive, funny podcast. Aw, thanks, Mom. I mean, Jessica. Thanks, Jessica. Just kidding. It really is Jessica. SZY. That is so kind. Donna's a Spitfire by Hoopglow. Aw, listening to Donna is like listening to a neighbor or a friend spill the tea. Do you guys have a neighbor or a friend that you guys hang out with that spills the tea? If not, can I move in? I wish I had a neighbor right next door to me, like, that I could hang out with and talk about Justin Baldoni. I used to. My best friend used to live right across the street from me, and we used to hang out with glasses of Sauvignon Blanc or a little skinny marg, and used to talk all into the night during COVID days. But she moved. She moved to Calabasas. She moved on up. Whatever. Now I just have you guys. That's why I hang out with you 5 days a week. Moonchild wants to know if I'm going to a wedding. I'm not. This is just a sweater. It's a sweater. Does it look like a dress? I'm wearing jeans. But, I dress up for you guys. I want to look good. Okay, nobody puts Baldoni in the basement. Tanya, I agree with you. I am your gossiping neighbor. I will proudly put that badge on me and my little hands. All right, let's get going. Jonathan says, OMG, I made it. So excited. Love your show. Hello from Manhattan, New York City. Jonathan, are you like a city boy? Tell me about your life. Okay, let's keep going. Let's just chat. Let's just get into the show. We have so much to talk about, including I'm going to start with this metadata story and then we'll go into Hugh Jackman because this story is pretty wild. It's a pretty wild story. And I would have not known for it if not for other YouTubers, like I said, Dave Neal, who really, really shocked me with this. Dave Neal posted a video this morning, and I can post the link later. I don't have it right in front of me, so I don't want to like mess it up. But he pulled up a TikTok, and like I said, he has all the information on his video. I just watched it right now when I was getting ready. Basically, what it's proving is that in the New York Times article, you can, and this is like smart people stuff, which I am not like a techie not Cody Brown, code person. You can pull up metadata from pictures on New York Times articles. And in these pictures on the New York Times article that says, "We will bury you," that came out on December 20th or 21st, whenever that big article came out, the "We will bury you" article with Blake Lively's complaint. I can pull it up. Bury you. On that article, I guess I should search New York Times because there's so many other "We will bury you." New York Times. If you don't like put a search with New York Times, there's so many like insane, really scary things that come up with without New York Times, like that have to do with, the Soviet Union or something. So don't do that. Blake Lively. We should be a little bit more specific with our search when we do that. We can bury anyone. That's what it is. Now we can bury inside a Hollywood smear machine. Okay, the article actually came out on December 22nd, 2024. Now, in that article, when you pull it up, I guess if you click on the pictures, you can see the metadata. And when you see the metadata, you can see the actual dates on when they created those images for the article. Now, in those dates, and I'll show you, let's see if we can do this together. And I wonder if they were able to kind of like, there's no way I'm going to be able to figure out the metadata myself. Can you imagine if right now I like took a class on coding with you guys? Well, I don't know how you can do this, but essentially this is the article, okay? And here there's a way that you can do something really smart and find the metadata on this image. This image took a second to create because obviously it's like graphic design. You have to cut these little like images out. You have to put this little TikTok graphic, a picture of Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively's eye. Well, this image created by Najiba Al-Gadban, it says right here, was created actually on December 16th. December 16th, okay? Oh, open image in new tab, Teresa says. See image file name. Okay, open image in new tab. Open image in new tab. Open. Oh, well, this is what came up when I pulled it to a new tab. It was just this. Okay, I'm not, this is not, this is not the show to do that. We stick with just like the light and tight, right? We're not the deep and we're not like coding websites. But the point is, and I can figure that out later. But the point is, whoever did the metadata TikTok research found out that that image was actually created on December 16th. Now, if you remember, this article was presented on December 22nd. Everyone woke up that morning on December 21st, and saw this article. It was updated December 22nd. So everyone woke up, saw this alongside the complaint, which is linked in this article. And everyone was like, whoa, 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 is this really true? Obviously, it came hand in hand. The complaint and this article came hand in hand, of course, with a picture of our friend Sharsti and so many other things. So they were clearly working together in some capacity, and no one really understood how or why or what. But there was some sort of connection there. Now, the point is, when did they get their hands on this complaint? And it's clear that they had it or they knew it was coming for days before, because they had an idea it was coming on December 16th, according to the metadata from that image. There was also metadata on this image and some other images like this from December 20th, December 20th, December 18th, meaning they were already pulling images for this article within days before the actual article came out. They knew that this article was coming out. They knew that the complaint was coming. And actually, I don't even have, wonder where the actual complaint is. I don't remember where it was actually linked. I know it was linked in this article somewhere, but I don't remember exactly where the complaint, what date the complaint was actually written. But I want to say it was like the day before here. It was like on the 20th or whatever. So it feels really crazy that this article was written so fast after the complaint was written. Now, what I find really strange also is in this last gag order, remember this gag order that was recently just turned down by the judge. This was Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' team tried to attempt a gag order. It was filed 20th December 2024. Thank you, Teresa Francis. I appreciate you. In this gag order that was turned down, remember that they attempted to say, and we were talking about this last week, that they believe Justin Baldoni's team actually leaked it to the New York Times. And I have someone in my DMs. There's a couple people in my DMs that are very adamantly team Blake, very adamantly. And I'm not going to say exactly like details about it, but there's specifically one person, and she listens to my show, so I know that, you know, she probably will know I'm talking about her. But she comes from a legal background. So she comes to me with a lot of legal knowledge. And she comes to me very strongly Team Blake. And she said to me, no, I believe, Brian Friedman leaked this to the New York Times. And I cannot wrap my head around this theory. And now I really don't believe that that's the possibility. But I still cannot wrap my head around why in the world Justin Baldoni would ever consider leaking a story that would completely ruin his public image, get him dropped by an agency, get his complete reputation knocked down 10 notches, release it to the New York Times. But then also remember this article was heavily quoted and posted about by all of Blake's friends and family. Do you remember that day that it was first released? Blake Lively's sister's brother-in-law, remember Bart Johnson, who played the dad, I want to say, in High School Musical. He's also a very big actor, like a TV actor. I knew him from casting. He posted about it. All of the Lively family posted about it. America Ferrera and all of the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants Girls wrote about it. Brandon and Sklenar, who played Atlas, posted about it in his Instagram stories. Like everyone and their mother who was supporting Blake posted about the New York Times article. Read this. There's no way that Justin Baldoni released the complaint or leaked the complaint to the New York Times and then turned around and sued them. Like, that's diabolical. And I just don't understand how that makes sense. It doesn't track for me. So that is an odd, strange choice. And there's certain arguments that I'm like, that you can't win that argument. You can't, there's no like rhyme or reason why that works. That's like me cutting off my arm and then, suing myself for cutting off my arm. Like, I mean, I'm sure some people would do such a crazy thing. So, what? Have I licked the chat? Ray, where are we going with this? Okay. So let's move on about another story, another update about this for everyone that's new here. By the way, we already have 1,600 people in this chat. I am shocked over it. It's so fun. I love the public interest of the story. By the way, the TikTok that I had over the theory of my theory that I had about Ryan Reynolds getting involved, and remember I said this on the show on Thursday before Candace Owens, just saying, just putting it out there, has 6 million views on TikTok. I had never had a video hit 1 million views. Actually, I did. I had one video that hit 1 million views, and it was about those who've been around here forever will really get a kick out of this. It was about Golden Bachelor Gary. That was my only TikTok to ever hit 1 million views, and this TikTok has hit 6 million views. But I also had an article over the weekend that hit the news, Fandom Wire. I have no idea where they found, like, why they wrote about it. And it said casting director calls Ryan Reynolds a complete control freak. And I'm like, shit, that was about me. I'm going to get a gag order. So, hi, Ryan. Do you know about me yet? Hi. Hi. Are we friends? You're not going to like this episode either. I'm just saying. But I'm not scared. I don't work in the industry anymore. I don't. Um, you know who is scared though? And I don't want to be mean about this, but I do think that Ryan Reynolds is feeling a little scared. And I did feel that pretty strongly today when I saw his pictures of him this weekend. Did you guys see those pictures of him this weekend? Did you guys see how he looked when he was at he went to, what's it called? He went to Hugh Jackman's show. He didn't look good. He looks tired. Let me show you. Let's see if I can pull it off. August wants me to do a Gary impersonation. Okay, I'll do Gary from Golden Bachelor talking about Ryan Reynolds. Oh, Ryan, listen, it's not fun when a lot of people don't like you, but it's okay. Listen, a lot of people thought I was a liar, but golly gee, you just have to keep the lie up. Okay, listen, it's gonna be okay. Golly gee, sometimes when I lie about things, you just have to keep it moving. And I told people that I was a restaurateur. In fact, I haven't worked at a restaurant since 1985. Okay, so Gary is still lying, but Ryan Reynolds does not look good. He looks tired. He looks tired, in my opinion. He looks scared. He looks like he hasn't slept, and he looks like he hasn't eaten. He looks rough. Now, Hugh Jackman, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Hugh for a second, okay? Hugh Jackman had a tough few months, and he came out pretty unscathed. Those of you that don't really know a lot about what Hugh has gone through, let's just do a little rewind. Hugh Jackman was married to a woman named Deborah Lee Furness for many, many years. In fact, so many years. I want to say, let's see how long they were married. There was a People article about their wedding or about their marriage. They just separated. They met in 1995 and got married in 1996. So they were married almost 20 years. And they were together so very, very long time, 27 years, thank you. And, they had a beautiful life together, and they have 2 kids, Oscar and Ava, who are 23 and 18. They probably just waited exactly until, or maybe he waited exactly until their daughter was an adult. A lot of times that happens, over the years, and I'm just going to be 100% honest. I just call it like it is, okay? Hugh Jackman is a very, very, very good looking man, in my opinion. Like, miles ahead of Ryan Reynolds, handsome wise. Nothing gets me more than a man like Hugh Jackman who can sing and who can dance and who is personable and charismatic. Watch the behind the scenes of what's it called when he does The Greatest Showman. If you watch the video, it's a behind the scenes video of him doing like it's like a special extra scene of when they were in rehearsals or like trying to get the movie sold, and he had this little cancer spot on his nose removed, and he was in like a pitch meeting singing, and then he starts to sing From Now On, and he starts to sing, and it's like this most, oh, like, I'm sorry, okay? That's just for me. Okay? Some people think he likes the same sex because of that, because he's a musical loving man. He likes to dance. That is their own thing. I don't believe that. It was like a little bit of a rumor when he left his wife. Listen, Deborah Lee Furness is, I believe, is she older than him? I can't remember if she's a little bit older than him. But the point is that people were like always a little confused by their relationship because he is handsome. Oh, she is a little older. He's handsome. Oh, yes, 67. She's 67 and he's 54. She's 10 years older, 13 years older. So people were a little bit confused by their relationship, as they tend to be. When you see a man who is at the top of their game, handsome, sick body, very put together, very good looking, hanging out with people like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and Taylor Swift last year at the Super Bowl, right? They were all together because he hadn't broken up with her yet. They were all at the Super Bowl. They were all hanging out at the Kansas City Chiefs game. By the way, we can talk about that in a second. I need to know your thoughts about last night's game. I know I have a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans in my audience, and for that, I am very happy for you. But I was a little annoyed last night. Just gonna say, like, I'm a little over it. I'm just like I feel like we're watching the Kansas City Chiefs bowl every year. Okay. That being said, I find that, like, I found it a little bit suspect that they were like, people were starting to question their marriage. Like, people said, "Is she his beard?" You know, and that's rude. That's like hard to believe. Now they finally broke up, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, here we go, here we go." They're gonna finally break up, and he's going to. Everyone was saying, these are the rumors that we were hearing. He's gonna come out of the closet. He's going to come out of the closet. He's going to finally come out. He's going to finally. Well, he didn't come out. Okay. He did come out as being with another woman. Her name is Sutton Foster. You may know her, Sutton Foster, as the star of a very popular show right now on Netflix because of all this, I think. And it's called Younger. And I know Sutton from so many years of casting just because she was on the list. And actually, my former boss, Greg Orson, cast the show Younger with Darren Star. And so, you know, I've known Sutton as an actress forever, but she's a Broadway actress, first and foremost. Very, very talented. She bugs, personally. No offense. Everyone, you know, everyone has their thing. But they were in a play together for a solid year or so before he broke up with Deb. Very suspect. She was also married. Very suspect. They each divorced their people, and then all of a sudden they're together. It's interesting. When you're in a play with someone, it's giving Green Lantern. It's giving Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and Scarlett Johansson, right? Interesting. Interesting. The Music Man. Thank you. That's what the play was that they were in. So I just want to say that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put it together that Hugh Jackman went so many years with his wife, this long-term love, this 27-year marriage, raising these beautiful children. They finally become adults. He gets cast in a musical, meets a woman, Sutton Foster. Maybe they've known each other for years on and off Broadway, whatever. She's also married. They fall in love. They decide to separately end their relationships and then come out together, and they're married, and then they start dating openly. This is the way I believe it happened. Also, I want to say, falling in love with your co-star is nothing new in this industry. It's nothing new on Broadway, and it's nothing new on TV sets. This is just the way this works. It's not weird. It's just normal. It sucks when you're in relationships. Like, that part sucks, which is why, like, I don't know if I could trust myself being an actor. I don't think I could trust my husband being an actor. It would be really hard, but it's just the way it works. The point is that he started to get a little bit of bad press when he started walking out with Sutton Foster. It was like a little weird. It was a little like off-putting, especially when there were some articles a few months ago that Deborah was kind of pissed off at Blake Lively. Do you guys remember this? There was like a couple things that were coming out about Deborah Lee and Blake saying, look, Ryan Reynolds absolutely knew what was going on, because that's how this works, right? The guys always know. He knew. He knew that his boy was kind of feeling things for Sutton. And he was like, kind of holding on and kind of feeling. No, I didn't see that, Maria. Maria, tell me more in the comments. I'm curious. He was kind of like feeling some feelings, talking to Ryan about it. And there's a picture actually that I saw earlier today from an older article when Ryan Reynolds, I'm sorry, when Hugh Jackman just announced his divorce, and Ryan Reynolds and him were talking, and they were walking on the street, and you can just tell, like, Ryan Reynolds is like, I have your back. Blake Lively absolutely probably knew what was going on. And you kind of are stuck in a situation when your husband's best friend is having an affair and you kind of have to take that person's side. So it says this was in January 12th. Deborah Lee Furness is reportedly upset her friend Blake Lively, because they were friends, has sided with her ex Hugh Jackman following their split. Apparently she had kind of known what was going on, and he was hit with speculation that he had moved on with American actress Sutton Foster. The couple finally went public with their romance, and she was fuming with Blake, who she believes knew about Hugh's new relationship. She knew they would side with Hugh when they split, but what has disturbed Deb is the very real possibility that Ryan and Blake must have known about Sutton. Truth be told, it was always difficult for Deb to bond with Blake because they're so different, but she felt they got on just fine. And it comes days after it was claimed that Deb was relieved when she saw the photographs of Hugh and Sutton together. She feels a sense of relief, to be honest. She trusted her intuition. Her intuition was right. She finally feels at ease after getting confirmation that her fears and suspicions were warranted. She can finally close this chapter and move on. So, as you guys know, he and Sutton Foster are full on together, and it's just like kind of a weird look. It's just, obviously he's going to move on, but I think the fact that she just got out of this marriage too and they were together, it's a little bit strange, right? It's a little bit strange. Now, the point is, and the reason why I bring all of this up, is that over the weekend, Hugh Jackman had this one-man Radio City Music Hall show, okay? And it's so funny because I did this post yesterday and I said, Ryan Reynolds is freaking out right now. And there's, of course, some comments that are saying, oh, really? Oh, really? He's freaking out? He called you? He called you and told you he's freaking out? And I said, you really don't need to be a magician or a psychic to know that he's freaking out. It's called, like, Hollywood. Open your eyes. It's everywhere. This is front cover of, like, Page 6. This is Daily Mail. This is everywhere. Now, you would be shocked how much it's trying to get suppressed, all of this bad press, because Ryan Reynolds has the best people employed by him, right? He has the best teams under him, PR, etc. And what they're doing is so genius. They're trying to suppress all the negative press by, what do? What do the best PR people tell us? They immediately try to distract us with positive press, like going to Hugh Jackman's one-man Radio City Radio City, what is it called? Radio City show, to support him and stand up. He can't just go. This is so crazy. In the middle of all this drama, when everyone is talking about, is Ryan Reynolds a controlling husband? Is Ryan Reynolds the person that's behind all of this? Is Ryan Reynolds the issue? He's actually, not only is he the issue, he's actually currently being sued for $400 million. That's not a small number. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds, but it's still not a small number. Oh, not only let me go support my friend at Radio City Music Hall, let me stand up and let me get the microphone. Look at me. Look at me, guys. Everything's okay over here. Not only that, before I go and get the microphone and stand up, let me post a picture of my gorgeous, beautiful, innocent victim wife and her cupcakes that she makes, because she's just a good mom. And the cupcakes, did you guys see the picture of the cupcakes? I don't know if you guys saw this. This is crazy. Blake Lively's cupcakes. Actually, they were kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. I kind of feel like I want to make them now. This is literally on people.com. Like, I'm embarrassed for people that they actually had to post this. Like, Leslie Sloan is working overtime. That's their PR rep, or at least it's Blake's. I don't know if it's Ryan's. This is their PR people. This is people.com from Saturday. In the middle of all this, Ryan Reynolds shares adorable photo of wife Blake Lively's dog-inspired cupcakes. Can you imagine? In the middle of all of this, we get this article. Aren't you guys interested in this right now? The actor soundtracked his Instagram story snap of the desserts with the song, "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?" Aw, you guys stars. They're just like us. He's showing his support for Blake Lively and her latest culinary creation. Who wrote this? Bailey Richards? Questioning you. Who paid you? Interesting. Is there any mention of the bad press in this article? Let's see. Oh, there is. Okay. Ryan Reynolds posts comes as a couple is embroiled in legal drama. Lively has not been spotted in public since the legal battle began. She was spotted in public last night on someone's Instagram stories. I'll show you that in just a second. But it says Ryan is always her rock. They have such a special relationship. He's very proud of her in so many ways. Is he? Is he? Those eyes. I wonder if those are actually her cupcakes. Do you guys wonder those things sometimes? Do you think he just Google image searched like cute cupcakes? She rage bakes when she's angry, MJ says. How much is the doggy in the window? Oh my God, is this true, Sarah? Sarah says Bailey is also the people writer assigned to Taylor Swift. Should we really, someone out there, please reverse Google image search that picture. I don't have the time to do it now because remember, I can't even figure out a metadata, but someone figure it out for us. We need to do the research. Someone says, looks like a rat. Come on. That dog has rights too. Okay, a lot of you guys are saying that there maybe was another gag order filed. I'm going to look it up really fast right now. If there was, we would see it. So I'm going to keep looking on Deadline and stuff because I know it would come up, but I haven't seen anything yet. If you are seeing it, please let me know because we're breaking news here on Daily Dose of Donna. Breaking news, always. Always. You know, we always have the breaking news banner, you know, but we don't have that yet. I have not seen it yet. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so then he goes over the weekend, right? He goes Saturday night looking like, as we say in Yiddish, schmate, okay? Like skinny, tired. He's not eating enough of the cupcakes. You know, she only made enough for the kids, it looks like. Why didn't she make another one for him? Why didn't she make enough for him? She should have made more. And he looks very tired. And then it said that he ends up going to this show and deciding to raise his hand and makes like a whole, you know, thing for him. And listen, at the end of the day, this is how Hollywood works. Either you have a couple of situations. Either you have like a Diddy situation where people literally pretend that they don't know you. When Diddy got basically charged with all of these charges and got raided and then eventually arrested, all of his friends are like, Diddy who? Like Jay-Z was like, who? I don't think I know him. I'm sorry, what? I don't maybe I saw him once at an award show. Who? No, yeah, I think I crossed paths with some, well, who, what? I can't even say it. Paths with him. And meanwhile, there's, people like this, where they're gonna have some of their tight people stick to them till the end. And I think that's a nice thing. Look, even if whatever is happening here, Ryan Reynolds did not commit a serious crime. He didn't do what Diddy did. He's going to have his friends stick by him. And that's okay. And that's good. As you should. As you should. Hugh Jackman will be that person for him. He will stand by him and he will stick by him. And that is fine. I believe that. And that's cool. But I just find it almost insane that Ryan Reynolds decided to hijack in a weird way Hugh Jackman's performance. I mean, I guess it gave Hugh Jackman some press to go over to a show, stand up, get the mic. I mean, it was obviously a prepared situation. I'm sure Hugh Jackman was very much in on this, and he says he surprised the crowd at Radio City Music Hall when he stood up in the audience and shared a heartfelt message about his Deadpool co-star for the opening night of his concert series From New York with Love. I wanted to actually just say, he says, I love this man. I care about this man. As he recalled Jackman's courtesy, gentleness, and curiosity from their time on X-Men Origins, Wolverine, nearly 20 years ago. He concluded, he is genuinely the best human being I know. And I have 4 children. Well, that feels good for their kids that got half of a dog cupcake last night. Jackman replied, I love you, Ryan Reynolds. I love you, man. Thanks for coming. And thanks for asking for a free ticket, too. The insider said Lively was also invited, but it was decided that her attendance would take the spotlight away from Jackman, whose new love interest was also in the audience. Dun, dun, dun. Well, I think Ryan Reynolds took the spotlight away as well, right? Hugh invited them both to the show, but only Ryan attended. He was told that Blake would have loved to go, but had to miss out because she isn't doing outings. Hugh was also told that they didn't want to make that super important and special night about them, which is what it would have been had Blake joined her husband. Well, I'm sorry. I think this is made completely about Ryan. He thinks that it was going to be all about Blake. No. He made it all about him. Blake hasn't attended anything publicly since November when she walked the red carpet in Los Angeles, but she did step out with Ryan Reynolds and Michelle Maroney, her A Simple Favor co-star, this weekend. And then that's what he posted last night. He posted a picture of them, and I can share it with you guys in just a second. Posting a picture of the trio. He said, I missed you guys, love you. He wrote of the beleaguered spouses whose past behavior has been picked apart in the wake of the lawsuit. This guy, Michelle Maroney, I don't know a lot about him because I haven't seen A Simple Favor, but he is also in a weird turn of events. He is also in this new movie, which is called The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, alongside Brandon Sklenar, who played Atlas. So it's a weird, strange connection. Brandon Sklenar and Michelle Maroney are together in a movie directed by Paul Feig, who also directed A Simple Favor. All 3 of them have come out in support of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and they are all together in this movie called The Housemaid. And he posted on his stories, and I'll share it with you, just last night, this. He posted, missed you guys, love you. And apparently this was last night. So I don't know where they are. Michelle Maroney looks like he's smoking some joints. Is that a lot to say out loud? Anyway, he's hanging out with them. I don't know if it's a new picture. I don't know anything. My question is, who's his agent? My question is, who's his manager or who's his rep? Like, my first thought is always, who's he repped by? Who told him to take the picture? There's something there. They have a friendship. They have something. And that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. People have to stick by people. And at the end of the day, I was saying something on Patreon yesterday, and I'm not going to give it away. By the way, so many of you guys joined my Patreon this weekend, and I appreciate you so much. But I did talk about it on my Patreon yesterday about some of my insider connections. And, there's some people that are in Blake's corner that I know personally, they won't leave Blake's side. Like, that's just the way it is. They won't ever leave her side. And friends are going to be friends to the end. I'm actually interested what will happen no matter what at the end of this lawsuit. Either way it goes, are we going to see people come out saying, I changed my mind, or I shouldn't have said something? When I say that, I mean the Jenny Slates of the world, the America Ferreras of the world, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants people, Colleen Hoover, etc. I mean, Verity is still in pre-production. What is going to happen there? Are we going to get a Verity? Is that going to be pushed? By the way, I will out loud say Verity was 10 times better with it than It Ends With Us, in my opinion, as a book. I'm not known to love Anne Hathaway, so this will be a toughie for me, but I loved Verity, so I'm very interested to see what happens there. Okay, I don't know about a new gag order. What I did mention on Friday night, I guess I haven't had a show since Friday, so I did cover the newest gag order Friday night on my Instagram stories. On my Instagram and my TikTok. But yes, what I did do on Friday was say that the original gag order that we mentioned last week was denied. The original gag order was denied by the judge, and then they tried to file another gag order. What their team is saying, and they did this on Friday night. What their team is saying is they believe that Baldoni's team is allegedly still conducting a smear campaign as we speak. They believe that they are still conducting a current smear campaign with legacy media, meaning with Daily Mail, Page Six, et cetera, and social media. So, like, people like myself and other creators, Dave Neal, Zach Peter, but TikTok creators and Instagram creators, et cetera, or possibly comments. Very, very hard to trace, very inorganic finding, et cetera, are still being paid to create content and being hired. So should I pull out my bot dance again? Because I am a hired robot. I am not a hired robot. Although, Baldoni, if you pay a lot, I will maybe not say no. I just find that so crazy. It's like, it's almost diminishing the ability for people to make their own decisions. You can't put out all of these lawsuits for public consumption in 2025 and not expect the public to come up with their own decisions and their own ideas and their own thoughts. Like, we have brains. We can actually come up with our own thought processes around these things, right? Like, we are able to look at the facts and say, this doesn't track with this. So make it make sense. That for me isn't, that for me is confusing. Where else can we? Oh, the Taylor Swift. There was one other little piece of news that I thought was really interesting with Taylor Swift. Remember last week how Taylor Swift was saying that she never really met Baldoni and she never really had a connection with Baldoni. She doesn't really remember him, et cetera. And that was like her response. And it felt very kind of cold and weird. Well, Isabella, who plays the young Lily Bloom, she kind of ruined this story because there is her name is Isabella Ferrer, and she plays the young Lily Bloom. She's actually beautiful and very talented in the movie. And in the lawsuit, and I mentioned this very briefly, and I don't remember if I said it. I don't even remember where I say these things anymore. In the lawsuit, Justin Baldoni mentions that he had a very good relationship with her on set, during the audition process, and on set, etc. He mentions that right after they filmed, she wrote him a text and said something along the lines that it was a really, really good experience. She had a really nice, I can even try to find that part in the lawsuit really fast, but she had a really good experience. She would love to work with him again. She loved it. It was her first time ever working on a film, and she was so excited and whatever. She was just really happy about it. Then, let me see if I can search Isabella. Okay, here we go. I love the search function. Thank goodness for the search. Here we go. Just make sure it's big enough for you guys to see. Okay, so we're on page, for those of you just listening along, we're on page 92 of 179. It says, for example, this is on paragraph 159. It's about how he believes that that Blake Lively kind of got the other cast members to shun him. He said, for example, Isabella Ferrer, cast as young Lily, exchanged grateful texts with Baldoni during and after her filming stint, which included a number of scenes involving intimacy. This is when he said, "You did awesome today. So happy to be working with you." She says, "Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Thank you for being a great director and being so wonderful to work with already. Let me know when you need me for anything. So kind. More to come. You're going to kill it," he said. And she loved that. Then she wrote to him again in July. She goes, just got my film developed when we were shooting. Here's this sweet pic. I also have to say thank you so much for an incredible experience on my first film. I still can't shake the feeling of it all because it truly was life-changing for me. You are such a wonderful, smart, and sincere director, and you created such a comfortable, safe space for me to feel like I could fully step into this role. I couldn't have asked for a more welcoming environment. It will stay with me for the rest of my life. See you soon, whether in the fall or later, and hope you're doing well. And she attached a picture of them. And he responded in July. This is again 1 month before the premiere, and says, "Isabella, wow, what a kind message. You were such a joy and pleasure to work with. Your openness, your raw talent, your kindness, and your excitement made me fall in love with directing again. Um, I'm so excited for your career and for everyone to see you in this film. You have a big career in front of you. Looking forward to seeing you again in September. Even if we don't need you to work, come visit." So this is about, he was basically, they were about to go back and film the second movie. Got it? So then he says basically that they worked together when Blake Lively was not on the set. And then she started to spend time with Blake Lively during film promos. And then she started to shun Justin Baldoni afterwards. She was right after she started hanging out with Blake Lively, she became cold to Justin Baldoni after that. She never talked to him again. And so that was that kind of experience for Justin Baldoni. But the reason why Taylor Swift is involved, and actually this is interesting, I'm going to pull it up really fast. I got a great email from one of my listeners, Emily. Shout out to Emily, who sent me this short from YouTube. And it's actually from Access Hollywood. And it's kind of negating Taylor's thoughts, where she's like, "I hardly met Justin. I didn't really meet Justin." And Justin talks about casting Isabella on Access Hollywood a couple months ago. And I'll show it to you.
When you have somebody as beloved and as recognizable as Blake, the only way it can really work is if you have somebody that resembles her. So we did a TikTok search. We looked through thousands of women and tapes, and we had lookalikes submit who had never acted before. And then I found Isabella. Our wonderful casting director sent me her tape, and I watched it. And I remember asking, did she put that mole there in that place? And if you look at her at the right angle, it's a spitting image. More than just the resemblance, she is a phenomenal actress. And this was her first film.
She told me Taylor Swift helped her get the role, like signed off on her audition.
I was casting, and I had actually brought in and showed her casting tape to Blake and Taylor, and they were both like, "Yes, her." And that's a true story. When you have somebody,
Which is just very interesting. So Taylor actually had a lot of involvement, it sounds like. Number one, why the hell? And I'm so annoyed for Justin in this moment, because I was a casting director. You guys have to remember that. I was a casting director. So I come from this with like a very inside baseball. I come from this with a very inside baseball opinion. I'm so annoyed for Justin in this moment. I'm so annoyed for Justin, and I'm so annoyed for the casting director. Because not only do you find such a find, But then you'll have to go and you have to show it not only to Blake, but to Taylor Swift. Like, why? Why is Taylor Swift involved in casting her? She has nothing to do with this. Blake was basically like, oh, hold on. I have to get Taylor Swift involved to like sign off on casting. She's not even a producer on the film. That's just annoying for so many people who are trying so hard to get a movie made. Like, she's just in the way. That's honestly, that's just like an annoying, my lips are so dry. That's just like an annoying addition to a movie for like, I've worked on so many movies and TV shows when you just have like all these extra people in the way of making decisions. It's actually not helpful. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what that meaning? Like, it's too many cooks in the kitchen and it adds too many players. So can you imagine that Taylor Swift is like, I don't like her. Oh, sorry. So Taylor Swift doesn't like her. Now we have to go back to the drawing board, even though the producers like her, the director likes her, casting likes her. What? It's wild. Like, that's the most obnoxious thing I've ever heard. It's a flex of power and so not necessary at all. Taylor Swift should not have been part of casting in any capacity. She shouldn't have been in charge of overseeing writing. She shouldn't have been part of anything. And honestly, and I'm just going to throw, I'm throwing down the towel. Ref, throw in the flag. I'm throwing the flag. I'm doing what the refs did last night when they threw the flag and then they took the flag away because they wanted the Chiefs to win. Sorry, Chiefs fans. I love you. I think I don't like Taylor Swift so much anymore. I liked Taylor so much in August 2023 when I was on the floor of her concert, singing at the top of my lungs. Maybe we got lost in translation. Like, I was like a Taylor Swift girl. I was just like screaming it at the top of my lungs. Like, All Too Well 10-minute version was me hysterically crying in my car. I don't know if I can stomach her anymore. Something about this case has taken her from already a little annoying to another level. Am I alone? Audrey, we already covered that. She says, breaking, New York Times busted by metadata. We already covered it. I don't know. And I like her as Taylor Swift, the performer, but something about this other stuff, being so in the mix with so many of this like mean girl shit. Ugh. Swifties are gonna come after me. Okay. Thank God. And I asked on my stories yesterday. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. I asked on my stories yesterday, are we over it or are we not? And y'all, I'm kind of surprised because a lot of you guys are with me. I said, are we over? Well, I said, are we over them, Travis and Taylor? Because I was just annoyed that they were like all over the field. And right now I have about 1,500 votes. And 26% of the votes still love them. And 74% of the votes are over them. So I think a lot of them are like with us on the Taylor Swift of it all. So I think, unfortunately, what's happening is some of these people who are glamming on to the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds of it all are like kind of getting pulled down with them, is what's happening. Yeah, Chris says hundreds of family and friends on the field. That's fine, but why are we only seeing Taylor Swift every time I'm looking at the TV? Like, I want to see them all. Okay, let's move on to let's go on to some other stuff. There's so much else to talk about, but you guys, I have a new sponsor, and I know that you guys support my show, and I know that you guys have a lot of animals in your homes. I know that we have dog lovers. I know dosers are dog lovers, and they also have cat food too. But I have gone through so many different animal food companies if you have been following my show, because animal pet food companies love to send me their food. So I have tried it all, but I have very, very sensitive dogs when it comes to food. I have one dog, Murphy, who will eat anything, including like cardboard boxes. Okay. So he will eat anything, but the problem is his stomach doesn't like it, but he will eat anything. You have a dog like that? And then I have Frankie, who's very finicky and picky. But this one company, and trust me, I've been using it for about 20 days, every day, OLLIE. And I know it's cute because my son's name is Oliver, but OLLIE, OLLIE is the company. I've been using them nonstop because they sent me a bunch of food and I've been using it all the time. And I'm telling you the truth. Hand to God, the poops. I know. We're talking about the poops. The poops are amazing. I hate to have to do this, but it really is like the best quality food. It's not oily. It's not gross. It doesn't smell. And it's actually like the best quality of digestion, if you know what I mean. There's no farts and all that yucky stuff. OLLIE is clean, fresh nutrition that your dog needs in 5 flavors that they will absolutely flip over, okay? You don't have to be a veterinarian nutritionist to know that feeding your pup real whole foods with minimal processing is one of the best choices you can make for their health. In fact, studies show that a perfectly portioned fresh food diet can extend your dog's life by 2.5 years. Okay. Who wouldn't want more time with your best friend? Right? OLLIE's meals are made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world. No fillers, no preservatives, just fresh, wholesome nutrition. And with 5 protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might find yourself wishing you could trade places with your dog at dinner time. You know what I would like to trade places with my dog at dinner time because I want someone to feed me for a change. I would like to sit on the floor and have someone feed me. No one feeds me at night. I have to feed myself and the rest of my family. But the point is, you can just get started so easily. You just fill out OLLIE's 30-second quiz and they create a customized meal plan. I did this too. They tailor it exactly to your dog's weight, activity level, and health needs. And this is the coolest thing. They send you this box. It's like a little tray and it sits in your fridge and you put the container of food inside of it and it has like a little scooper. So you don't have to like mess with these gross packages that like gets all over the place. That's the best part. It looks like really nice and clean and it just sits in your fridge. I love it. My dogs eat it up. They're so excited. And like I said, the poops are amazing. So give your pup a fresh start this year with OLLIE. Head to OLLIE, OLLIE.com/daily dose. Tell them about your dog and use code daily dose to get 60% off your first box. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee. So if you're not completely satisfied, you will get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/daily dose with code daily dose for 60% off. Start your dog's new year off on the right paw with OLLIE. Thanks, OLLIE. 60% off, y'all. Super poops. We all want a good super poop in life. All right, we got to move on to some other stories. Those of you that are in the Bravo sphere, how are we feeling about Paige Desorbo these weeks? Are we feeling mean girl energy? Are we liking her being the single girl? Paige Desorbo is, you know when I know that things are changing for her? She's getting a little bit of bad press. She never was getting bad press before. Paige could do no wrong. She could say whatever she wanted. She could do whatever she wanted. And now she's getting some bad press. And that, my friends, means that things are not looking so good for her. But that's because she's showing us a different side of her. She's showing us on her stories a little bit more cleavage, a little bit more skin, a little bit more attitude. She's newly single and she's not afraid. She's not afraid to be like, I don't give a F about you. She's cursing on her podcast more. She's like unapologetic. And she let it slip on her last podcast that she's been single for months, which is a little confusing for the audience that thinks that she just broke up right before Christmas. It was a little confusing. Now, Mr. Craig Conover, he unfollowed her over the weekend. And for that, I say, mazel tov on boundaries. It is not a good idea to follow your ex. It's not a good idea to watch your ex. It's not a good idea to see them in your content. But the problem is he's going to still see her all the time because there's no way he can get away with it, get away from her. Like, you're so screwed if you date a famous person. Can you imagine dating a famous person? How? How in the world do you go through life dating a famous person, breaking up, and like not seeing them all the time in your feed? It's impossible. Impossible. You're constantly seeing them, right? So you always will see them all the time. Everywhere he's going to go, BravoCon, any sort of like Watch What Happens Live, he follows all the same people. They're going to post pictures. Summer House is about to come out next month. In like 2 weeks, it's premiering. He's going to see all that shit. You know, he follows so many of the mutuals. He follows like the Lindsay Hubbards of the world. They're going to be posting. Oh my God, he's going to see so much. I mean, how is he going to function? He's going to be like, block. I don't want to see that. It's the wrong hand. It should be the right, but I only have 2 right hands. I don't want to see that. No, talk to the hand. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, Paige. I don't want to see it. And so what's going to happen is like he's going to still have to be inundated. And that's the problem. Not only is he dating someone who's also famous, he's dating someone who is on the same network as him, who is on the same channel, who is in the same like little world. It's like dating a former bachelor, right? It's like being on Bachelor in Paradise with your ex. He's fricked. Now, there are rumors all weekend long that he is also on Raya. You guys know what Raya is, right? Raya is the celebrity dating site that apparently you go on, not celebrity only, but that's where the celebrities go. It's also where like very elite people go, rich people. It's like the Bethany dating site. It's where people go when you have a little bit of, like money, fame, you know. It's where like my friend Molly, who is single, always would text me and be like, why is this guy on Raya? Look who's on Raya. Where's Raya? You know? So that's what's happening. But I'm glad that he's moving on. And I think it's going to kill him because he can tell she's definitely moved on. She moved on before she broke up with him. Because I believe the rumors to be true. I think Paige cheated emotionally on Craig. Standing by it. Standing by it. Renee says, oh, please, Craig and Paige were the North and the South. They had very different mentality. Women always blame the women. She just wasn't into him anymore, period. Why am I blaming the woman? I agree. I don't think she was into him anymore. I agree. Now, listen, I am also saying very, very honestly that Craig is having a bad season. And if you guys listen to my Friday recap of Southern Charm, which lasted about 7 minutes because it's a horrible season, I'm not into Craig right now. I'm not into small hand Craig. I wouldn't have even seen his small hands last season. Remember my obsession with Craig? Go back 1 season ago, and my love of Craig knew no bounds. Like, I was obsessed. But Craig this season is disappointing me. He's lying. He's Blake lying. Blake liveling. He is incredibly, he's blowing things out of proportion. He's bringing up stories about, stories about JT calling Patricia a B. Not okay. We don't tolerate liars. Right? Don't make me like Austin and Shep more than you, Craig. It's not going to be good for you. Don't like it. In my Patreon yesterday, I answered a lot of questions about like Kyle and Dorit. There's these weird theories that Kyle and Dorit are faking their fighting on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They're making it up. because they didn't want their storylines to be about their divorce. Don't believe it for a hot second. I think Kyle Richards hates Dorit. I feel confident about that. Hate. Yeah. Oh, N is saying small hand thing is getting old. Okay. Thanks, N. I'm going to make sure to keep that in mind. Thanks. I appreciate that. It's only been one show, but it's old. It's old for you. Thank you. People are so fun. I don't believe in any way that fight is fake. But you know what? I wouldn't put it past anything with Kyle. I think Kyle is fake. I think all of these people, I question so much I see on Bravo these days. Oh, another huge story. Alec Baldwin's new reality show on TLC. New trailer just premiered this morning. I don't want to play it for you guys because it's got music the entire time, and then I'm going to get a copyright issue, and so I'm going to have to play it on mute, and I don't want to do that. But you guys can watch it after this. Go and find the trailer for their new reality show. It's short. It's like 30 seconds. It does not track as a TLC show, which is so strange to me. TLC is so Sister Wives, right? Which we'll get into in just in 2 seconds. Why are we in any way like connecting the Alec Baldwin family to TLC? It doesn't track, but I don't know if this was an intentional or unintentional connection. So I wonder if TLC went to the Baldwins and said, we have all the money in the world for your show. Let's do it. Or did Alec Baldwin say, I want to go to TLC because it's more of like a family-friendly network and Bravo feels too scandalous for us? I have no idea why in the world. Or maybe because they have 4,000 kids, you know? Interesting. Okay, so it's too funny. Okay, let's move on to Sister Wives. Just wrap up the show with a good old dose of Cody. We need a good old dose of Cody. TLC is cringe content. It really is cringe content. I remember TLC being the dating story and the marriage story or the wedding story. Those were my favorite times. Guys, those of you that have been around forever, you know, it's about that time. This week on Sister Wives. This show is getting worse and worse and worse, and yet I am still pulled into having to watch it. Not for me, for you. I don't even want to watch it anymore, but we did get a couple scenes at Coyote Pass, and for that, I feel like I'm home. Sister Wives is so bad this season. It's so bad. There's no timeline. Mary is still talking about Cody. At this point, she's 40 years past her marriage with Cody, and she's still talking about Cody. Janelle is still talking about dividing the land and getting a lawyer. Nothing is making sense. Obviously, the timeline is so messed up. And this is for that crazy, unhinged 7-paragraph comment I got last week when I was talking about Sister Wives. Someone yelled at me about the timeline. This is for you. There is no timeline. There is no time that exists on Sister Wives. Okay? Christine is moving to Moab with David. No one cares. No one wants to see it. No one cares. But Cody has spent the day on Coyote Pass barbecuing and teaching his adopted daughter Brianna on how to cut wood. And that was the best part of the show. Oh my God, you guys, this is misery. I don't know what would be more miserable. Having to sit in a room and watch Sister Wives over and over and over, or like multiple root canals in a row. It really is becoming miserable. And for that, I am so sorry, but I'm going to have to see you guys through it. I mean, literally my notes are psychotic. If you guys saw my notes, like you would be like, were you tortured? I mean, I said Janelle is ready to close the chapter of Coyote Pass. That's like the entire beginning scene. Okay. Christine and David are in a U-Haul going to Moab. They're talking about making a shrimp room. I want to vomit at the idea of making a shrimp room. I don't even know. Are we in Real Housewives of New York talking about the fish room? Remember Luann and Dorinda's Berkshire room, like the fish room? What are we even talking about? Then all of a sudden I wrote her favorite animal is giraffes. Like why? Why are we talking about giraffes? Like, how did we get here? Get me home. Take me away. I never want to hear the word Moab again. There's something about the word Moab that just triggers me in a way that I don't want to be here. All of a sudden, Cody and Robin are painting tables at Coyote Pass. These tables also are trying to get away from Coyote Pass. Like, no one wants to be on Coyote Pass. These tables are also, they've tried to like get away on their own. It's like Toy Story at night when everything goes dark. The tables try to slowly run away from Coyote Pass. They've had to move from Vegas. These tables are a big deal. Okay. They're not just normal tables. They're big deals because something happened with these tables. All I know is that I wrote Grandpa and Uncle Paul. Something happened about Robin's uncle. Robin's Uncle Paul is also her father. We went into a long montage about this. I blacked out. All I know is it's incestuous. Someone's father became an uncle and an uncle married a mother. I was confused. It felt very wrong. It felt totally illegal. I shouldn't have listened. I don't understand it. I was confused. I don't know who the mom is. I don't know who the dad is. And I don't want to know. I don't want to know any of it. But yet I was forced to listen. And Robin seemed very depressed telling us the story, even though I think it was a nice story. She said she was so sad about it. She's so sad. She's perma-sad. The kids were scraping away at this table. And Cody said, I don't even want to teach them anything. I'm just using their labor to get it done. Call Child Protective Services. Call them on Cody. Then we have Janelle on she calls it a video conversation. Who does that? Whoever said, I'm having a video conversation with you guys on Daily Dose of Donna. Excuse me, you guys. I'm having a video conversation right now. Sorry, Mom, I'm busy. I'm having a video conversation. Who does that? Something about getting a lawyer for Coyote Pass. It's never going to happen. Why are we talking about Mary will never actually move her ass here. Christine now is showing David the Moab house. Every single house these people buy looks like my version of hell. Something about their homes always looks like a place I never want to be. Cold, big open high ceilings, always something unhappy to me. There's something so unfriendly and cozy about their homes. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. It's just not for me. David is like, oh, it's nice. Lollipop David, oh, it's a nice one in here. This is a nice hand. I like it. Oh, there's a crack in it. Okay, this is a nice home. Oh, okay, yeah. The entire episode is comparing David and Cody. The entire show has been the fact that Cody compares Robin to the other girls. Well, now the whole show is Christine comparing David to Cody. It's like a dick measuring contest. But Christine's doing it. I get it. Cody's annoying. Cody sucks. David's better. We get it. Like, how many more times do we have to hear? We get it. Okay, he's fun. He wasn't. He's control. He wasn't. He's like, we get it. Bored. Patricia says, when did David start talking like Gary? I don't know. At some point, they all talk alike. Cody, Gary, Kyle Richards. They're all the same person at one point. Hey, I gotta get my work. Cody and Kyle Richards do have the same voice. Hey, gotta get my work gloves in. Gotta call Morgan Wade. Now we're back at the ranch at Coyote Pass, and I was so confused because now they're cutting wood. And Brianna, one of the daughters, is like, "Can I try?" And he goes, "Yeah, you got to swing it from the head. Got to swing it from the head. You know, swing it lightly and swing it from the head." He said from the head like 8 times. I was like, that sounds sexual. slow your roll. And Brianna goes, ooh, it's so heavy. And I was like, are we watching porn? Now, she starts cutting down the wood and he's like, I love it here at Coyote Pass. And then Robin goes, it's too bad we have to sell. Oh God, I shouldn't have brought up some sad things. What was I thinking? Why do I always bring up sad things? She goes, let's just not go there, dear. And then Cody goes, we're not synced up. They're not on the same period. You know, like they don't have the same Aunt Flo. She doesn't want to sell it. I want to sell it. She does want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. She goes, my heart aches. My heart aches. It's not the vision I imagined. I really wanted us all to be here. It's just not working. And then he goes, I taught Brianna how to split wood. Ari was skipping rocks with Areola over there and Solomon. The other one, I don't remember her name, became a naturalist. I don't want to give up on Coyote Pass. And this is where I'm confused because I live in LA where I have literally just a backyard. Where they live at Robin's house, all it looks like to me is Coyote Pass. Like, don't they have a shit ton of land? Are you telling me they can't make a fire and hit some wood in their backyard outside of Robin's house? All I see is like a lot of space. You can't start a little outdoor fire outside of Robin's backyard. You can't knock down some wood with a head of an axe outside of Robin's house. Why do you have to go to Coyote Pass for that? You can move those ugly tables. It's a little confusing to me. I don't understand. None of it makes sense. Sell that damn Coyote Pass. Give us all a pass on this. Those coyotes really want their land back. Colonizers. This is, I'm done. I'm done. Free Coyote Pass. Like protest. Anyway, as we wrap up today's show, I would like to take a moment to send love today on January 27th is Holocaust Remembrance Day. As a granddaughter of survivors of the Holocaust who are no longer with us, it is a very, very important day to me and to many of you who are here and listening and watching, and to the world, it should be. I am very touched by so many people's messages today. It is a really, really important day to remember history and to remember the history of the Holocaust and to teach your children so that it doesn't get forgotten. Never again is a very important statement to not only my family, but many of yours. The Holocaust is a piece of history and we should never forget. And with everything that's going on in the world and the hostages slowly being released and just praying and praying and praying for good news, it's very relevant today and it's very important for me today. And when I say me, I mean our people. And that's very important just for me to say because I have my show to say it. I love you very much. You guys, thank you for being here at Daily Dose of Donna. I love you and thank you for the support. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.